You're the manager of a small store. You hired one of your friends, and you just found out that they've been stealing from the register, and the argument that you had with him at the office just didn't settle it for you. You pound on his door. When he opens up, he goes pale, soils himself, and staggers back, gasping for breath. It doesn't impress you, really. You figure he thinks you're showing up with the cops, until you step through his door, and glance to the side, where you get a good look at yourself in the mirror, or at least, the parts of you that are still recognizable after that gunshot blast that your friend gave you at the end of that argument. Driving home at night, you notice that all the lights in your apartment are on. As you park the car, they all turn off at the same time. The house is empty, and the doors are locked from the inside. You check your watch. The big hand is on the 4, the little hand is on the 1. You'll be late for work. At work, you find an email in your inbox. The sender is yourself. Puzzled, you open the email you apparently sent to yourself. Inside is the message. The out for watch. You look at your watch. The little hand is on the 4, the big hand is on the 1. You look back at the screen. The fourth and first words have swapped places. Watch out the watch. You look back at your watch again. Your watch is digital. There it goes again. Something definitely moved this time. It was very brief, but out of the corner of your eye, you saw something. But wait, all the doors are locked. No pets, and your parents won't get home until 10. So there's no way something moved. It's just your imagination getting the best of you. Sitting alone in your room, the only light emitting from the monitor of your computer, you stare into the darkness for several minutes, just to be sure. Now you feel silly. What were you thinking? Of course, there's nothing there. What are you, 6? Go back to what you were doing. It's fine. 15 minutes later, as you prepare to go to bed, you're in the bathroom. The shower curtains shift. Wait, no. Stop spooking yourself. It's just an overactive imagination, filling your head with what really isn't there. You gaze into the mirror at yourself. You say it to yourself, slowly and clearly. Imagination. With a sigh, you turn the lights off and head towards your room. Laying in bed, you stare at the ceiling. Only the motion of a small fan disturbs the calmness of the night. A shadow from the light in the hall shifts. No. Stop it. It's your imagination. Just that. Go to sleep, you idiot. But then, just when you're about to drift off to sleep, at the phase no one remembers when they wake, you sense something in the darkness. It's your imagination, leering down at you with a jagged, macabre smile. Many classic horror icons, such as Geiger's Xenomorphs, Silent Hill's Pyramid Head, and other disturbing creatures, share common characteristics. Pale skin, dark, sunken eyes, elongated faces, and sharp teeth. These images inspire horror and revulsion in many, and with good reason. The characteristics shared by these faces are imprinted in the human mind. Many things frighten humans instinctively. The fear is natural and does not need to be reinforced to terrify. The fears are species-wide, stemming from dark times in the past, when lightning could mean the burning of your tree home, thunder could be the approaching gallops of a stampede, predators could hide in the darkness, and heights could make poor footing lethal. So the question you have to ask yourself is this: what happened deep in the hidden eras before history began that could affect the entire human race so evenly as to give the entire species a deep, instinctual, and lasting fear of pale beings with dark sunken eyes, razor-sharp teeth, and elongated faces? Just be careful out there. You've been dating your girlfriend almost 2 years now. You often stay late over the summer, and on weekends arrive home long after the rest of your family go to sleep. Every night he drives the deserted rural roads back home from a pleasant evening at her house. You become overwhelmed by fears that you will arrive home to find your family dead in their beds. Each night you peek into your sister's room and see that she's fine, and hear the reassuring rumble of your father's snore as you pass your parents' door. You chuckle at your silly worries and drift off to sleep. Finally, one morning, you decide to tell your mother about your late-night fears amidst some jovial conversation, for a nice laugh. As you tell her, a concerned look comes over her face. She sweeps away the hair from her face as she says, "Oh, honey, you know we were all shot almost 2 years ago." You scream as you see the gaping bullet hole in her forehead. It was her eyes that first attracted me to her. I didn't believe in love, but the first time I gazed into her beautiful green eyes, I knew she was the one. I loved seeing myself reflected in those eyes, looking deep into her soul and knowing I was a part of it. It's kinda stupid, but I even wrote poetry about them. I don't remember much, but I told her, "There's so much life within your eyes, and so much love." Oh god, I love the way the light danced within them. I just couldn't imagine not being able to stare dreamily into them. Now, if I could just find a box that was half as beautiful as her eyes, I could stop carrying them around in my pocket. If you are the type who eats out regularly, one day a stranger might join you at the table. This stranger will always appear to be about your age and sex. And he, if it is a he, will only appear if you are alone. No matter what style of restaurant it is, they will always be carrying his own plate of food. After a few seconds, he will look at you directly and say, "You seem like an interesting person. May I know you better?" Say yes, and he will begin to ask you questions about yourself in between bites. These questions will be innocuous enough at first. What your name is, what you do for a living, and so forth. But should you open your mouth to answer, you will be forced to tell the truth, even if you do not consciously know what the truth is. Remain silent and the stranger will scowl at you, pick up his plate, and leave. You will never see him again. If you indulge his questions, however, they will grow darker and darker as the food leaves his plate, and it will become harder and harder to resist answering. Do not attempt to leave the table before he does, under any circumstances. When his plate is clean, he will stand up to leave, but not before asking you one last irresistible question. What would drive you to take your own life? You will instantly be aware that he will be able to lie in response to this one question. And I suggest you do, for whatever you describe will come to pass within the week. Those who are canny may use this chat to gain whatever they desire, but know that if the happenstance you name does not drive you to suicide, the stranger will start guessing as to what will, and consider how much he now knows about you. In any city, in any country, go to any mental institution you can get yourself to. When you reach the front desk, ask someone who calls himself the holder of the end. Should a look of childlike fear come over the worker
coroner's face. You will then be taken to a cell in the building. It will be in a deep, hidden section of the building. All you will hear is the sound of someone talking to themselves echo the hall. It is in a language you will not understand, but your very soul will feel unspeakable fear. Should the talking stop at any time, stop and quickly say aloud, "I am just passing through. I wish to talk." If you still hear silence, flee, leave. Do not stop for anything. Do not go home. And do not stay at an inn. Just keep moving and sleep where your body drops. You will know in the morning if you have escaped. If the voice in the hall comes back after you utter those words, continue on. Upon reaching the cell, all you will see is a windowless room with a person in the corner speaking an unknown language and cradling something. The person will only respond to one question. What happens when they all come together? The person will then stare into your eyes and answer your question in horrifying detail. Many go mad in that very cell. Some disappear after the meeting and few end their lives. But most do the worst thing and look upon the object in the person's hand. You will want to as well. Be warned that if you do, your death will be one of cruelty and unrelenting horror. Your death will be in that room, by that person's hands. The object is one of 538. They must never come together.
In the most deserted part of Wyoming, there is a restaurant. There are no roads leading to it, no signs advertising it. It's just there, in the open. Walk inside. However, you will learn two things. One, it's jam-packed with people talking, eating and enjoying themselves. Two, the entire place looks like it's a scene from the 50s, including the people, the food, the newspapers, the music, everything. Take a seat. Observe the atmosphere. Relax. And when the waitress comes to take your order, make it a cheeseburger with mashed potatoes. Afterwards, a red-haired lady should ask you to dance to a tune on the jukebox. Find the song on it that has the same number as your current age, pick it, then dance your heart out. When the song ends, a flash of light will engulf the whole scene, and you will be standing outside your home the following morning. You should now have the power of clairvoyance for the remaining year. Don't ask me how, I don't know. If you didn't do this correctly, then woe is you, for you have also missed out on the best meal you'll ever eat. Recorded, 12th of the 7th, 2007, 12:31 a.m. A new find was brought into the lab today. Men working the demolition of a condemned warehouse at this facility discovered a rusty old barrel that seemed to exude cold. Preliminary electromagnetic field readings yielded chaotic data before the equipment died. The barrel appears to be constructed of stainless steel and, again, radiates cold. Recorded, 13th of the 7th, 2007, 9 p.m. We opened the barrel today inside a sealed chamber. The chamber immediately froze over. An unidentified entity was found within the barrel. Appears to be gaseous and black, Indeed, the very light surrounding it appears to be sucked in by its presence. It appears to be sentient, but does not communicate in any understood way. Biological matter that comes into contact with the entity seems to, disintegrate. Recorded on the 14th of the 7th, 2007, 10:11 a.m. An intern entered the seal chamber alone today, without his hazard suit. He was not seen again. The entity has doubled in size since being released from containment, and has become aggressive. We are sealing off the chamber immediately in light of its flesh-consuming properties and rapid growth. All research is halted.
Recorded on the 14th of the 7th, 2007, 11 a.m.
It's gone. It's gone. God, help us. It's escaped. Hello. I am Mr. Welldone. I watched the copulation which conceived you, and I screamed in horror. I saw you birthed like a hatched parasite, hairless and gagging, and I grit my teeth in hatred, sliding them over each other again and again and again and again and again and again and again until they were flat and smooth. I will watch you wither and grow old as your body congeals, and the weight of your years pulls your flesh from your body, and I will grin and snicker and laugh and laugh. I will see your dissected corpse, pumped full of superficial chemicals, interned into the dirt to feed the eyeless and subterranean creatures of the earth, and I will howl because I know where you're going. I know where you're going. I know the secrets of this earth, as I knew the secrets of the one before it. I will bring about the end, and you cannot stop me. You read these tales, and you do not know that with each you read, each you create and recreate, each you retell, with each you claim ownership of, you beckon the end. For there will be some among you who will try to verify these tales. You will seek them out. Those that do with passion will find that many of them are falsehoods, but some will be harrowing at the very least. Others will leave you scarred for the rest of your fleeting days. Others will leave you stripped of your flesh, and that flesh will be used to build more and more and more tales, twisted and stretched to cry out to more curious individuals. And I will smile, my teeth clenching together, tightly, 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 until one cracks with a satisfying pop. My eyes are unblinking, watching everything fall into place, wide and empty, weeping and shriveling with delicious, protracted agony. I am so excited, so very excited. Even as you read this, some among you are emboldened. The sick part of you that lusts for the end whispers in your mind, making you want to see the horror, the pain, the blood, the death. You want to see. You want to see what lies hidden in the dark, beyond the light, beyond sight, smell, taste, hearing, and touch. Come and see, and I will show you such wonderful things.